podcast. We're finally launching today. We got Richard from Fireheart Fit Gear here with us. What's going on, Richard?
It's a beautiful day outside.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, anyway, go ahead and kick us off. My name is Alex. This is Mason.
Hello, guys.
We just started our Grimy brand. You know, sorry. I had to get this guy ready to go. But we just started our Grimy brand. It's more of a culture. It's going to be more of a just like really attacking life, motivating yourself throughout the day. It's more of an attitude and how you carry yourself. It's not just about going to the gym and putting on our clothes. So that being said, though, Richard, after announcing that, what made you want to start your brand and stuff, bro?
Man, back in like 2019, I was playing with the ideas of I want to start something. I've always wanted to have like something that was mine, something that I could promote myself with, and I played with it years before, but never had the vehicle how until that year, and then I said, I want to try fitness gear because I'm always in the gym. At the time, I was competitively powerlifting. I love being outside. I said, I want to do something to where it's like a bit of both. And I want that to be pretty much what the brand kind of makes itself around. And it follows the same tenets of what you guys said, that it's more than just showing up in the gym. It's like it's being alive and going after things that you want and just absolutely killing it. Whatever's in your way, it's like, I'm going to do this 100%. There's no dialing it down. So since then, I started that and just rolled with it. And I've helped other people start their own brands. I've co-managed a few before. And here we are rocking and rolling now.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah. Now, it's crazy you say that because, it's just this morning we were waking up and we had to get up early because, we wanted to get this thing started before we had to get to work.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was telling Mason, I was like, dude, it's like, I'm really passionate about this, It's when you build something from the ground up, you create the idea, you create the, as far as, even down to even a logo. It could be something as simple as you drawing onto a fucking sticky note and that idea becomes $1 million idea, but it's not all about the money, it's the baby. It's the fucking baby inside.
And kind of just like watching it grow every day. Like every single day when you see that growth in it, just gives you a little more pride in what you're doing.
Oh, yeah, straight up.
100% more. Makes you strive to be greater in what you're doing, too.
Straight up.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you start to amass more and more people, it's like you have more and more eyes on you. And there's both a pressure and like the sense of responsibility and want to continuously deliver and or be the best that you can be for those people, because that it's not just me and my partners and our brand anymore. It's like, oh, there are people actually watching what we're doing. They're watching our move. Like we're starting to become infectious to them. They're going to want to assimilate what we're about, and rolling with that. That's pretty heavy. That's something that you carry with, and people react to it different. Some, the pressure almost kind of crushes them. I mean, guys like ourselves, we're kind of, oh, sweet, more people. We got to keep showing up and going in on it. So,
straight up,
to me, it's a wonderful feeling. I know you guys feel the same way. So, it's part of the process. But what a wonderful part of the process it is.
Yeah.
I can definitely agree there.
Yeah, straight up. The struggle's real, too. You know what I'm saying? People see the beauty in creating a brand and see your lifestyle, and that it is such a scam. Don't let us fucking fool you. This shit is tough. The struggle is real. But you know what?
The stress levels are always so high. Yeah. But at the end of the day, man, when everything comes together, it just feels that much better.
Yeah, I mean, as something just as simple as someone sending you a push-up video at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
That type of shit makes my day.
Yes.
Because, maybe it's like a control thing. Like, fucking, I implanted this idea, and people are fucking following.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's cool. It's cool, man. It's cool. Money's also cool, which will come. You've been pretty successful throughout stocks and are you still doing music?
I play music. I'm actually looking at getting a new amp for my guitar just because I finally got rid of my old one. It was too big and I don't have enough space for it. So until I get a bigger house, I'm gonna have like a little itty bitty one. But I mean, I still play music. That never left me. It's more sporadic when I get to pick up, but I do. Like I love hopping on the axe and still shredding.
What? Dude, I got all drunk on the 4th of July and I was shredding. I still got it, baby.
That's right.
Serenading my lady. So, I know we had other topics.
You got the combining.
Oh yeah, the combine. The combining, bro. So, I thought about this really hard when you had said something about the combining of brands. Are there any big brands out there that like have done that?
There's been quite a few. It mostly happens in companies like corporate ones where they merge together and become partners. But
Okay.
there are brands that they do effectively come together and they roll from there. It's not unheard of. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I know they do it because two different entities may see each other and go, hey, we can become more successful together than if we just keep striking on our own. Why don't we do it? The best example actually in music, Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses used to be two separate bands, the LA Guns, and I forget what I forget what the Roses were. They were effectively two different bands, and they came together. Yeah, so they were two different entities, but they came together to make Guns N' Roses, and you see how successful they turned out.
Yeah. Epic fucking band.
No, everyone.
Straight up. Epic fucking band.
So there you go. There's an example right there. They just said, we could do better if we come together. They came together and they took off.
Hey, do you know what was their divide musician wise? Like what did LA Guns have that Roses didn't?
I'm not entirely sure.
And I probably said that wrong. Don't fucking
at the time I think the lineup was different for LA Guns because they ended up becoming their own entity. Like they split off and carried on as like a different band altogether. But I think in its super early incarnations, if I'm correct, they had a few members that helped make up Guns N' Roses. And then the same thing, I think it was, I think they were Hollywood Roses. Obviously people could look it up on the internet. They have, so they'd be like, oh, you're wrong if you're wrong, whatever. Like we're in the age of the internet. But the Hollywood Roses, they had a few members as well. And when they came together in the incarnation that they had, that's where you got like Axl Rose, Slash, Izzy Stradlin, Steven Adler, and Duff McKagan, because they were both their own separate teams. So
those aren't normal people. Those are like fucking people like us. They're not fucking normal. They're built different.
Well, they came together and they started playing music and they took off. And the cool thing about Guns N' Roses, so in the 80s, you look at the history of how the glam rock scene was so heavy and so prevalent, where the guys were like teasing up their hair and just wearing like super effeminate things, and it just like it made them money. Guns N' Roses showed up on the scene and they were just like, we're not going to do the glam shit. We're leather and denim guys, and we're out here to party and rock and roll. And they did just that. And I mean, they were notorious for getting wild. Like Motley Crue had a streak on them, but Guns N' Roses, like they took that shit up to the next level. Yeah, I love Motley Crue as well. They were definitely.
I've seen Motley Crue 4 times in my life. My dad was a fucking diehard dude. So like the Red, White, and Crew tour, the Return tour, the Welcome Home tour, the I said a couple of those wrong. Don't give a fuck. But there's my favorite one, Carnival of Fucking Sin.
Yeah.
First pair of live titties I ever saw. I think it was like 7 or 8. It was badass. I was on my dad's shoulders. My legs fell asleep. I'm looking at knockers. Tommy Lee's got girls on stage getting naked. My mom's looking up at my dad like, are you serious? It was awesome. There were midgets hanging from the ceiling.
Probably the happiest
Yeah.
on the planet.
Yeah, it
In
was
that
awesome.
moment.
Straight up, it was awesome. But yeah, man, that's crazy, man. Just like bands, brands and bands, bring the bands. So, what's your take on steroids, Richard?
I don't have anything against people that take them. I myself don't do them. I never will. I prefer just to go the natty route, but you know, they have competitions.
Too, right? So,
they have competitions for people that they do steroids. I forget like the rule set they call for it, but they know people are juicing, but they still let them compete. So to me, if that helps you get there and you can do it safely without, you know, damaging your health, go for it. I personally would rather just go the natty route because I'm a stickler for perfection like that of myself.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of risks that go with it too. But I mean, just because you take steroids doesn't mean you're going to be huge. I mean, you still got to put in the work, which is something a lot of people don't understand. They think you just inject steroids and you're fucking huge.
Yeah.
You still got to put the time and effort in.
I wish that's how it worked. But
yeah, just kind of get down and.
Yeah, I will say the plateaus you hit when you're juicing they're harder to overcome. Yeah, you're gonna hit a plateau to where, you know, just like in a natty, you know, cycle, I guess you can call it. You know, when you finally hit that big weight, you're like, holy shit, I just benched 200. 5% of the fucking population can do that. Your dick gets all fucking solid. You get really happy. The thing is, you're not going to push over 15 pounds of that natty, you know, unless you work really fucking hard. You have to work really fucking hard.
Yep.
People don't understand, like, even with steroids, when you hit that plateau, I almost feel like it's harder, like you were saying. I almost feel like plateaus are hitting harder. The results, though, the payoff, oh, shit.
It's better.
It's fucking amazing. I started 3 months ago, like heavy, coming down from weight, coming back from Washington, moving to Arizona, and started like an actual cycle. I think we're on week 6 of an actual cycle, but we had a post cycle before. So we're doing it right. I feel really fucking good though.
Oh, I bet, man. I bet with all the extra stuff in your body, like you would just recover faster. You know, you're obviously going to put on mass sooner. Like that's the way it goes. And like that's one thing I always look at it, and because I used to think that steroids were just bad when I was younger, and then around 2015 when I started getting in the competitive powerlifting scene, someone that I was in the Navy with, he did it, and they don't test for steroids in the Navy, so he was just doing it, and he explained it to me, and I was like, you know what? I have a newfound understanding and respect for it. Like, hell yeah, I'm not going to do it, but I still respect the process of those that do it, and they do it well. And it's not like the olden days where people were just coking out on it, like they're fucking booting it back, like like out of sorts. Like people that actually do it smartly, they do it through processes, and you know they make sure that their health is good, that their mental state is good from it, and they're just getting jacked. And so like I've got respect for that process for it, because there's, like you said, there's work behind it. Like me, I'm 6 foot and like 230. I walk around like 230, 235. When I was competitive powerlifting, like I was 250, 255, just natty, just because I can put on size really fucking easy.
Yeah, you always have been a bigger guy. I think even when we were in like high school, you were pretty much bigger than everybody still.
I was a fairly sizable guy. Like not the biggest one out there, but definitely like I have natural size to my genetics, and it's easy for me to put on mass.
Your little brother ever get taller, or is he still short?
So he's like a few inches shorter than me, but you could tell his physique, he's more around like the 170 to 180 range. So he's got a smaller overall just build than I do. Like I'm meant to walk around, like I'm never gonna drop below the 200s at all in my lifetime at this point. Unless something terrible happens to me or I fucking die, I'm not going to drop below 200 pounds. It's just because when I cut weight for my fight that I had last September and I dropped to like 230, I was already like seeing the lining of like my abs coming out, and just like everything was trimmed the fuck up. So it's like 220, maybe 210 again. Like, and the last time I was 210 was when I went into boot camp, and I didn't have as much muscle as I do on now because I wasn't lifting as much.
Yeah. Forget. I was fat when I went to boot camp, dude. Because I think before I went to boot camp, I had to have been like 187 pounds of fat and alcohol, just fat.
I come out of the fucking boot camp so skinny, dude.
Oh yeah,
I was cut the fuck up.
Yeah, look good. I was doing workouts. No
6'2", like 160, bro.
Where the fuck did I put my weight?
I don't know.
Motherfucker ran off. But yeah, man. Damn, man, we keep sidetracking. I forget. We're talking about steroids. Now we're talking about boot camp. Calisthenic workouts.
Well, a little segue for physiques. It goes hand in hand with steroids.
It does. It does. Dude, could you imagine having steroids in boot camp? Holy fuck.
Man.
My PRT scores would have been, oh my God. Oh yeah, you would have looked real good.
Yeah.
Real good. Like cut cycle the whole fucking 13 weeks.
Hell yeah.
So you have any big plans coming up for Fireheart?
As of right now, I'm getting back to revisiting it and starting to focus on it more now that I've got the time to. I'm definitely looking forward to having way more time once I get real estate certified as like my main stream of income, so I have more money to help promote and push it. But I mean, not only that, as well as, you know, work together and pretty much like where we can combine and roll forth, because like I said in our phone call before, I'd rather do this with a team than just myself. Like, this shit gets tiring doing it by yourself. Like, you burn out. And like, in terms of like running a store online and setting up like email and knowing how to do all the stuff on like the computer and whatnot and blasting out to people and all the copywriting, I know how to do all that. So I can do all that for Grimy as well. And then, you know, you guys can more so spearhead like the personable stuff. And then, you know, we just run with it.
Oh yeah. 100% down. But like you were saying, to touch on that a little bit, bro, it's like doing it alone it's scary. It's like you said, you burn out, you have all these ideas, they start fucking flowing. And if you don't have any kind of support, you fucking overload. Like you said, you overload, you freak the fuck out, and then I almost wanted to do it trying to get this fucking live stream to work. I was about to have a fucking conniption, dude. Capital C. So, but it ended up working out, obviously. Restream. Shout out to fucking Restream. Yeah. But I know, didn't you have you wanted some touchy topics, didn't you?
Define touchy.
You had, I'll define touchy. You had some topics you wanted to touch on.
I gotta remember what those were, because
I know
we kind of like,
there they are.
We wrote the list out, and it was more just like, let's just find what topics like free flow and whatnot. I know. Yeah. I wanted to cover I think workout discipline was one of them. And then yeah, so one of them was our main interest in fitness right now, like between the three of us, like what each of us is doing.
Oh yeah. That was a really good one.
Yeah.
So what we're doing right now, what our like fitness goals are right now.
Yeah. So
yeah,
like,
just what you're doing, what your focuses are for the immediate future of what your fitness goals are and what you're striving to.
Well, me personally, I want to fucking get disgusting, like huge. I want to compete. I want to do a classic competition next next July. And I'm hoping that I'm big enough for it, you know, but I don't even care if I am or not. I'm going to set my bar there and then go from there, though. But I do want to get into a physique kind of competition kind of realm. I just love the culture. It's turned my life around, you know, especially with getting out of the military. You know, when I was in, I was drinking a lot. You know, I was very depressed. And it was just, you know, it was hard for me to kind of balance everything that was happening, you know, especially getting back from deployment, being in new places, you know, and you don't get paid shit. So, like, yeah, it's hard to drink all the time, but you find out how to do it, you know. And I started really, I started really going downhill, man, and you know, I met Mason actually in Navy jail. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And that's when I started working out. I started lifting weights and stuff there. And then when I got out of Navy restriction, I just kept it going, man. I got Planet Fatness membership and just started going there and lifting. And then, but really where things have been taking off is when Mason had started training me. You know, now we're building micro muscles. We're, you know, focusing muscles better than, you know, before I've always been athletic. I just didn't know how the fuck to lift a weight properly. I kept hurting myself, you know, and definitely making some progress now, you know. But,
Hell yeah.
I think that muscle groups need rest.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Used to just pound the same muscle groups over and over. Oh, dude, I was like, bro, your muscles need some rest so you can actually grow.
I still do. I still do.
Still does it, bro. We'll still be in the gym and he'll just start hitting biceps, and I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, what are you doing?
4th of July, I did like 400 something push-ups because of that fucking push-up challenge.
It's just like, bro, give it a rest. Law of diminishing returns is gonna whip ass and keep that shit up.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we'll literally be hitting shoulders, bro, and I just see him over there doing curls, and I'm like, hey, bro, what the fuck are you doing?
Why are you genuinely like concerned?
Oh my god, I understand that struggle. Like when I was hitting the weight room and getting used to it myself years back, every day I just wanted to bench because I was like, oh, I'm good at benching. I want to bench every day, and I'm like, I can't do that every day because they're like, if you don't let it, it's the same thing. Someone told me if you don't let it recover, you're not gonna gain, and then like your strength's gonna be shit. And I was like, oh yeah, and so I was like 1 week. I did it like 3 days in a row. By day 3, I was like, huh, he's right. These weights are getting heavier, and the number's not changing, so I should stop.
Shit starts to fucking hurt, and you're just aching all day because you worked the same muscle group 3 days in a row. Yeah. Forget that shit.
Yeah, but to really sum what I was saying up, I know I kind of like went on a rant there. I think my goal, you know, is to be big, but also be healthy with that size. I'm a short guy, you know, so, and high blood pressure runs in my family pretty well. So, you know, blood work with the juice and stuff. I mean, that all is very crucial with my journey right now. So safety and disgustingness. That is mine.
For me, I don't know. I've always been, or actually when I was a kid, I used to be super fucking fat, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
me too. You're not the only one. Me too.
Oh,
yeah,
dude.
Richard, you were fat.
I had my moments where I was fat as shit.
We were all fat at one point.
Bro, I used to wear like 3 t-shirts so you couldn't see how big my titties were and shit.
You be getting t-shirts with like prints on it where the titties were, so it goes flat.
Oh man.
Super fat, just out of shape, just unmotivated for shit. Then I found the gym. And so, I mean, I never really wanted to be big. I've been big once. I didn't really care for it. I just had to be in shape. So I just get like cut the fuck up and then I maintain it. I don't really have a like an end goal. I just like to wake up and feel good.
Hey, that's a goal in all its own, man. I respect it. I know on my end, now that I'm back home and situated, and once I get my schedule's hectic as hell right now, but once I get it solid, I'd like to start conditioning for another fight again, just because I miss it. Like I've been mostly working out at home, and when I was deployed, like a month and some change back, I was just out in the gym every night, like just doing body weight stuff and jump roping and doing kettlebell swings. And I've got kettlebells here because people miss or just underestimate entirely how effective kettlebells are and how much they'll work you if you do them right and you go in on them. It's like I've got at least two, and one of them's like a third of my body weight. So when I want something like a big challenge, I'll do those and just swinging them alone and doing Turkish get-ups. Them shits will work you, but I'll just do push-ups and squats and sit-ups and pull-ups, and I'll jump rope and do some shadow boxing. And it helped me lose fucking weight while I was deployed. That's the weirdest shit. Like because I was always like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to maintain my physique and lose weight, and I sure as hell did. So the last stretch of months I've been doing that, and I'm going back to my Muay Thai gym so I can get back in the work of throwing pads and sparring with people, and then eventually starting to condition for another fight again because I miss it. Like I love being in the competition mindset of like, hey, we're going to square off and I want to see what you're made of and see what techniques you got. And I'm going to see if I can outlast you and if my stamina is better than you. And it's thrilling. It's like something primordial in you comes alive. Like the warrior hunter gather mindset, and that shit just comes out hard. And it's like, I feel like fucking centuries of my ancestors' bloodlines, like when they fought for survival, coming out in that moment. And it's
straight up. I'm gonna drink your fucking blood.
Yeah. You're gonna crack your skull open. I'm gonna drink from it. And so I can't wait to do it again. So that's been my focus, is just staying in shape and not letting myself get fat, because like we're all saying, I too was fat at one point. Like when I was younger, I used to struggle with that shit so much. And then like middle and high school, I started to even out. But I would still go through like phases of like, oh, I was fat, I wasn't fat. And then in my 20s, it was around like when I was 23, I think I started to get like super fat again, because I started to go through like, damn, I don't feel like I'm going anywhere in my life. Like my job pays me pretty decently, but it's not what I want to do with the rest of my life. And, I just went through a breakup and it was hitting me pretty hard, and I was eating a lot of emotional shit for it. And I finally I think after the whole summer to where I was doing about just eating and drinking every fucking day, I just straight up woke up. I said, all right, I'm done being a bitch. And I just started like, I also went to Planet Fatness, and I give them credit for the fact that they had stuff there, and I had the discipline to like not dig out on the fucking shit. But I just started going there, and then I would like start riding my bike a lot. I would go to Mount Trashmore because I lived like a short ways up from it. And I would just start hitting it hard every day. And then I just got my eating on point. And I was like, I'm not going to do the thing where people are like, well, I'm going to cut like one thing out, but I'm going to like eat this. Like I just said, no, if it's going to make me fucking fat, I don't give a shit. I went from like eating pizza and a whole bunch of just like fried shit to like, I just started cooking. I cut my drinking from like 3 bottles a week to like maybe 2 beers on a weekend. Like I went cold fucking turkey, just sheer willpower. Cause I was like, I'm not a fucking addict. I refuse to be an addict to any substance. And so I just cold turkey the fuck out of it and just went in on it. And then I just cut all this fucking weight.
That's lit.
And after that, it became a habit to me. I learned, and my eating was dialed in. And then the year after I joined the Navy, and since then I never really let myself get too fat again. Like during my powerlifting season, sure, like I have like that, little extra layer, but most of it was also getting built in the muscle. So I never really struggled with being fat after that.
Good. That's lit, bro. Good for you. To actually like touch on that, I know you said you were gonna start training again for another fight.
Yeah.
And we were talking about, goals for growth and stuff with the two brands, especially combining together. A big one would be gloves for you. Just grimy fit gear gloves, bro. The white with the black G, let's go.
Yeah.
That's the last thing someone will see before they get fucking, just penetrated. Wham!
Top striker, top G, boom.
Wham!
Yeah.
Straight up.
I like that. I actually did play with the idea of gloves a couple years back. I was going through a move from Fredericksburg back to Virginia. There was a lot of things going on, so I never pulled the trigger on getting the gloves out because I was thinking of having like a little subsect of the products of like Fireheart fight gear to have like different branded fight gear and whatnot. But I never went through with it the first time around. But obviously, now that we're all together, we can definitely attack it a lot harder.
Oh, dude. Fight gear? You said Fireheart? Yeah.
Yeah, Fireheart fight gear. I thought it was clever, and it just like it would be fit, but like instead of the fit, we would just scratch the fit off and put fight instead. It would just be it's subtle, but it's the subtle shit that always gets people.
Yeah. Oh, fit, fight, yeah. No, I like it. I like that idea. And also touching on the future, bro. Your watch is fucking sick, bro.
Thank you.
We're stoked to actually. I want one bad. I want one. I want to. I gotta get my grimy model though, dude. I'm gonna have to have the grimy.
We'll get a model for it together. I was thinking about upgrading the Raider watch anyway, and it'd be cool just like make the next iteration of it our collaboration together, and just pretty much like, hey, here's the new brand, boom.
Yeah,
put it out there for people.
Yeah, awesome. Even simple stuff, man. I think a big thing for branding is like incorporating your lifestyle, your hobbies, shit like that. Mason's got like, this motherfucker doesn't put down a phone. He's gonna invent a fucking way to like strap a phone to your hand. Like levitate it, fucking. But any kind of small, like even a fucking bottle opener. I know you like to smoke cigars and stuff. Anybody that checks this out today, let us know what you guys want to see as well. Ideas. That's how the baby works, So, but other than that, man, I think this was an awesome fucking little first breakthrough. What are we at? 32 minutes. 32 minutes. Yeah, it's pretty solid. Did you want to touch on anything else before we wrapped up?
I think we're pretty good for this first go about. I think next one, now that we've established like our creative flow on stream, we've established the structure. We could start kind of finessing it. It was at least being able to get together and be able to put ourselves out there. So now that we have that, it's like, all right, now we've dug a little bit in the dirt. We can start building.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we'll next time will be a little bit more solid too with ideas.
Get better as it goes.
Yeah, it's growing. It's growing just like the brand, baby. Well, sick, bro. Well, awesome. Thank you so much, Richard. I'm really stoked. We're both stoked about this shit, bro. We're going all the way to the fucking top with this, y'all. So anybody of y'all that like your friends, your family, co-workers, your boss, I don't give a fuck who it is. Let's get grimy and let's get Fireheart Fit Gear on this fucking board, dude. Let's do this shit.
And a Merry Christmas to all a good night.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Richard. Well, you have a good day, brother. It was good talking with you, man.
You have a good one, Richard.